Yeah, and that's why though, when you're younger, you should optimize your time towards building yourself, right? As opposed to chasing tail because and not to say that you can't do it at all. You should develop your social skills, but you're just going to have a lesser success rate. So why swim against the stream, right? Instead go with like what do you have when you're young as a man? You have more energy and more ambition and motivation. So use that to make money, to build your status, to build yourself, your physique, the energy that you have and all that. And then when you get older, then spend more time when it's easier for you anyway to you get a better return on your investment, right? So invest in the right order. Most guys do the opposite and they spend their early 20s just fucking partying and chasing tail and shit. And they're getting mediocre results from that. And then by the time they hit their 30s, then they start to get serious about building a business or getting a job or whatever. And then it's too late. They're already fucked and they've already like they're on the wrong path and they're expired. So they've wasted their time. Whereas if you reverse it and you spend more of your time when you're younger, focus on business, on your physique, on building yourself, learning, growing as a man, then when you're older, you're going to have a lot more success, but you have to make that trade-off.
Yeah, totally. It's funny. It's kind of like compete. It's like competitions or being an athlete. Most of your
Mhm.
time is spent training. Like that is
Yeah,
90%. If you just go out, just compete, 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 you're gonna gas out. You're just gonna fall off. But
right.
literally, most of the time you spend training, and that's where you can hit peak performances. And I saw like on your about me page, I was reading through it. Like, was that you, man? Like you look so different. Like,
Yeah, yeah.
tell me about that? Like, so you like totally transformed because like you were like fat and like you were like out of shape and all that, and now you're like this chap basically.
Yeah, I mean that like I firmly believe that your inner world, your external is a reflection of your internal. It always is, right? And that's the thing that when you have that mindset, when you have the wrong mindset, when you have that kind of beta mindset like I had back then, lazy, undisciplined, socially awkward, like scared, like all these things, then your outward appearance, that's just how you're gonna look, right? You change that mindset, it changed the external. Even, when you look at some of my older videos, my voice changed, right? My mannerisms, like I'm a different person. And it's because what you think up here, in your head and who you are is going to express itself externally. And so that's why a lot of guys I coach on dating as well, my focus is on teaching them to become more masculine and the external will change automatically, right? Some guys are like, oh well, how can I deepen my voice, or like how can I you know come across like the right hand movements and gestures, and come across and stand the right way. And it's like, no, like you could focus on all those micro expressions and stuff like that. But it's just like, the best example of this is, I don't know if you've ever had this experience. Like most people, like you could probably identify like a guy that's gay, like just within like 2 seconds before he even opens his mouth, not even based on his clothing, just the subtle cue, just how he's standing, facial expression he has, right? We can identify these things very, very quickly, right? So why? Well, it's because people, like humans, have the ability to assess someone based on small micro expressions, things we cannot control at all, right? That's how we can
Yeah,
sense people's emotions and things like that as well. And so it's like, if you try and fool the world, if you think that somehow you're going to pretend to be like a strong masculine man, and internally you're not, it's no one's going to buy that shit. Like they're going to see you as a pussy no matter how big you are, no matter what shape. It's like, and you see guys at the gym, I see it all the time, like there's some guys you see at the gym that they're big, right? They're buff and everything, and you're like, this guy
yeah.
just seems like a pussy to me, like for some
Really, yeah,
fucking reason, I don't know why, but he is. Like, it's because your assessment is correct, is because that's like, what it is, right? There's some guys you see walking down the street, you're like, I better not look at that guy in the fucking eyes, because that guy looks like fucking trouble. This guy's a fucking badass, right? So that's it's just like, that's what it really came down to for me, was as I changed the internal, then the external change, and that's, there's no way around it. So
yeah. It's being dangerous is like so much more important than basically everything. And being dangerous is a certain mindset, right? It's like a
yeah,
masculine hunting, top of the food chain mindset, and that's what women are essentially attracting. Then, like when I was in the club, you know, I remember this guy came up to me. It was kind of funny. He was like, because he wanted to punch one of my friends because he looked at his girlfriend. So this guy comes up, he's like, yo, hey, you look cool. You look muscular. I'm like, thank you. And then he like starts talking with me, and he's with his girlfriend,
Yeah.
and the guy high fived me, right? And then the
Yeah.
girl high fived too. I was like, should I like high five the girl? I don't know. And I was way bigger than the guy. I could have fucked that guy up immediately if I wanted to.
Yeah.
I was stronger than him. I was just a little bit taller than him, and I myself was feeling kind of anxious if I should like even high five his girlfriend. And the reason that was is because based on all the factors, that guy was far more dangerous
Right.
than I was in that situation. Which means that, you know, the let's say girls in that situation decided, right, he would have been the one who could fuck me up, so they better side with him in that scenario, right?
Right.
So that's why being dangerous, as you said, like the guy in the dark alley that can fuck you up, like maybe he just stabs you or something. Like you never know. Like in Colombia, literally, like that might happen. So it's better to have an alpha male mindset than to be big and strong and have a beta male mindset.